guy, the Seth Meyers, I mean, he said, I know who can beat you in 2012, 2008 Barack Obama. And I mean, if you see the look on Barack's face when he said that guy was just such a realist. I mean, he looked like, when you get in his office.
Yeah, I saw that. It was an interesting moment. It was an interesting moment. All right, but hang on a second. Now you're an Obama voter, but you supported the Bush administration.
Well, good morning. It's the 3rd of May, 2011, here on DCRTV.com. DCRTV Dave, and interesting article today's Washington Post. Yeah, really interesting article here. It says it's been proven that. Right here, it says it right here. It says, if you listen to Chris Plante, you will actually lower your IQ. That's a report here. It says it. It says that there was an FCC test was done. They attached wires to people's brains, and if you listen to the Chris Plante show on WMAL from 9 to noon on weekdays, you actually will become less intelligent. It can be shown in intelligence tests. So just thought I'd like to let you know that right here on Dave TV. Interesting another interesting article today in the Washington Post. You know, it's funny. All the really what am I doing? All the really good reporters and columnists have left the Post, right? Howie Coates, Rob Pigoraro, Michael Wilbon, you know, they've all left. You know, they were obviously great reporters and columnists, and they cost too much money, and the Post let them go. So now the Post is down to a bunch of cheap-ass journalists, right? The cheap-ass ones, the ones that work cheap, that aren't very good, the C-plus reporters like Paul Farhi. An interesting article. Where is that thing? Here it is. Little piece that Paul kind of, you know, got a lot of little web thingies and put them all together and got a couple quotes and a little thing on how the media covered the Osama death and all that. One of the things I thought was interesting, though, in Mr. Farhi's piece was how he mentions how several TV people mixed up Osama and Obama. And he says, quote, on Fox broadcast station WTOP Channel 5, an anchor concluded at the end of Obama's statement that President Obama is in fact dead. He quickly corrected himself after his co-anchor whispered to him, and then he goes on to say, Paul Farhi, on Fox News Channel, Geraldo Rivera made a similar gaffe, blah, 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 blah. Now, why does Farhi mention Geraldo? You know, when Geraldo made the mistake, but doesn't mention the name of the Fox News anchor. I mean, the Fox Channel 5 local anchor, Will Thomas, which we reported yesterday. As I said, I like Will Thomas. I think he's a good anchor, but he did make the mistake. And it's a legitimate, I think, media news piece. And why don't you mention his name? No. Why? I don't know. You know, it's another thing. Media reporters covering local media, they're kind of trying to buy favors. Obviously, Paul Farhi wants to get scoops from Channel 5, you know, about, you know, he's trying to get in their good graces. He doesn't have to worry about Fox News too much. He's probably already ruined his relationship with them. But he still wants to preserve his relationship with Channel 5. You know, when next time they get a new anchor or they make a news change, he wants the news director to call him. So he's kind of treading, being nice here. Favor, favor, favor. That's Paul Farhi. That's why Paul Farhi is a C-plus journalist and not an A-plus journalist like Howie Coates. Okay? Now, let's take a look at last night's David Letterman show. David Letterman, which I DVR'd here for your viewing pleasure.
I'll get it. Yeah, I'll get it straightened right out. Ladies and gentlemen, time now for Fox News News Clip of the Night. Here we go.
And may God bless the United States of America.
President Obama speaking from the East Room of the White House, telling the nation and the world President Obama is in fact dead.
Okay, that is the Channel 5 clip there of Will Thomas making his little infamous gaffe of yesterday. Of course, that's not really a Fox News You know, when we think of Fox News, we think of the Fox News channel, and that really isn't that. That's a Fox-owned local TV station. So technically, I get, you know, it is a Fox-owned station, but it isn't a Fox News channel news broadcaster. Anyhow, we like Will Smith. Will Thomas. We like Will Thomas. I'm even making the goofs. I'm just as bad as Will Thomas is. I like Will Thomas. I think he's a great actor, a great anchor, and a great news guy. And I like him. I like Channel 5's news. They do run on the scary side. You know, they like to scare you. It's the 10 o'clock scare right before you go to bed. As you're getting ready to go to bed, they'll scare you. You know, ah! All right, folks. Big news today. Looks like WTOP is going to be adding some beer and lottery ads. Any day now, the new owner of WTOP should be taking over. We reported a while back that Hubbard, which is based in Minneapolis, is buying WTOP, along with a whole bunch of Bonneville stations on the East Coast, and markets like Cincinnati, Chicago, Washington, and somewhere else. And they're buying a whole bunch of the Bonneville stations, including WTOP, which is the top billing radio station in the country. And Hubbard is a little looser than Bonneville, as Bonneville is connected to the Mormon Church. So anyhow, you might start seeing some lottery ads and some beer ads and stuff on WTOP. So there. All right, one other thing I wanted to give you a TV thingy-dingy, if I can swing it around here. Oh, look at him. I kind of frozen. Poor David Letterman's frozen in kind of a... oh... All right, let's go out of this. Sorry, Dave. If you go to 271, we've got the, I love it's backwards now, NKH. It's NHK, right? These are the Channel 30 WNVC sub-channels. Channel 30 WNVC runs 10 channels in the Washington area. Half of them on Channel 24, half of them on Channel 30, and they're all called Channel 30 WNVC. They're megahertz. There's 10 international channels, including this one, which is the main Worldview channel, which is all, they're all carried by most area cable companies. And then we've got NHK World here, which is Japanese. And then we've got the Metro Chinese Network, which is Chinese, obviously. Russia Today in English. And Al Jazeera.
Terrorism advisor John Brennan, he's been on American television.
Of course, telling us what we have already known, that bin Laden is dead. Then we've got VTV, which is here's some changes. Now the 6th channel, okay, megahertz 6 here, is now running Euronews part-time and the Vietnamese channel part-time. Euronews used to be full-time on the 10th channel. So that's a change. We have France 24 still on the 7th channel. Russia Today is Spanish programming on the 8th channel. The 9th channel is something new, Ariang TV. Ariang. Okay, this looks like a Korean channel, so this is a new channel that they're airing. So we've got the Korean channel now on megahertz, and then channel 10 of the feed is Ethiopian television, ETV, which used to be over there on another channel. So a slight change in the hey, that's cool. A slight change there in the megahertz lineup of the 10 channels. Of course, Comcast doesn't carry Al Jazeera elsewhere, but they do carry it in the Washington area because they have to carry the over-the-air broadcast channels of Channel 30, WNBT. And since that is, it's what they call the must-carry rules. Anyhow, whatever, I think. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, thanks a lot, folks, for watching Dave TV for today, the 3rd of May, 2011. Got a couple bits of news. I do a short interview with Stan the Fan Charles every Tuesday at about 12:40 on WVIE, Fox 1370. So listen for it today if it's still before 12:40 in your time zone. And you're in the Baltimore area, 1370 a.m. every other Tuesday. And I'm also going to start doing a blog for the Rest and Patch site. Patch.com are those AOL local news sites. And And Karen Goff, the editrix of the Reston site, who's one of my neighbors here, she just lives around the corner, has invited me to blog about my 40-ish years of living here in Reston. So that should be getting up real soon on Reston Patch. You go to patch.com and then search for Reston, whatever, and so you'll be able to read me on there. I'm actually getting stopped by folks nowadays on the Reston Paths when I do my hikes. And people say, hey, I saw you on Fairfax Public Access Television or on various blogs. So, thanks a lot, folks. And don't forget to stay tuned as we continue watching this cool Ethiopian MTV here. This is really neat. I think this Hot 99.5 should start playing that. All right, folks, have a good one, and don't forget to stay tuned. Woo!